Simon, who is over one group of Edomites. But let's see who else we got. Go ahead.
John, who had seized upon the temple, had 6,000 armed men under 20 commanders.
This is another Edomite. Go ahead.
The zealots also that had come to him.
So wait a minute. Who were the zealots? The zealots were Hebrew Israelites that tried to overthrow the Roman government. So you got Hebrew Israelites submitting themselves to this guy John as a general to fight against the Romans. That means this guy was over the zealots too. They don't tell you all of this. They don't tell you that Edom was fighting right alongside of Israel against the Romans. Do they? Go ahead and read.
And left off their opposition.
Because at first they were against each other. Go ahead.
Were 2,400 and had the same commander that they had formerly, Eleazar, together with Simon, the son of Arenas.
Now, look what the funny part is right here. Because they got the Romans trying to break into the temple and kill them, and look what they're doing. Go ahead.
Now, while these factions fought one against another.
They fought one against another. Simon and his crew fought against John and his crew. And both of these crews are a mixture of Hebrew Israelites and Edomites. Go ahead and read.
The people were their prey.
The people were their prey. Because these two guys became tyrants. And they were killing the citizens of Israel. Anybody that did not want to join them in their rebellion, history tells you they were killing them. That's why I said the people were their prey. Go ahead and read.
On both sides, as we have said already. And that part of the people who would not join with them in their wicked practices were plundered by both factions.
It said they were plundered by both factions. And you can read other places where it said they were killed. They was also put into prison by both of these factions. But watch what those people said. Skip to paragraph 257. It's over here. It's right over here. 257. Go ahead and read.
For I venture to affirm that the sedition destroyed the city.
Who destroyed the city?
Sedition.
The sedition was Simon and his crew and John and his crew, and it was other crews that were rebelling against the Romans too. He said it's sedition, but this sedition he's talking about right here, these two guys in particular. Go ahead.
And the Romans destroyed the sedition.
And the Romans destroyed who?
The sedition.
Was Edom among the sedition?
Yeah.
So that means the Romans were killing Edomites too. Right? Matter of fact, both of these guys were Edomites. They were the leaders of some of the sedition. Go ahead and read.
Which it was a much harder thing to do than destroy the walls. So that we may justly ascribe our misfortunes to our own people.
Hold up. Who fault was it that Jerusalem got destroyed in 70 A.D.? Israel. And the people that were fighting alongside of them. He said our own people. Israel started that rebellion against the Romans. Titus did not want to destroy Jerusalem. Israel did not want to submit themselves to the yoke of the higher power, like Paul told you to do, like Peter told you to do. They didn't want to do that, and that's why they end up getting wiped out. They didn't even believe prophecy. God had already told you in Daniel that Rome was going to rule, and ain't nothing you can do about it. But go ahead and read.
And the just vengeance. And the just vengeance taken on them to the Romans. As to which matter let everyone determine by the actions on both sides.
So he said let everyone determine by the actions on both sides. So the Edomites, Simon and John, were both over these seditions. Some of them had zealots with them, Hebrew Israelites with them, fighting against the Romans. The Edomites were. But this guy John right here ended up dying because he was on the wall talking to a soldier that he knew. And he got shot by a straight arrow from a guy named Arabian, and he died. But later on, another John that was over more zealous was still on the scene, and Simon was still on the scene too. Let's see what these two brothers' faith were. Let's go over to War 6.9.2. See, they don't deal with any of this stuff. They don't tell you, for one thing, they don't know or understand that Edom was black. Esau was black. They don't know that the Hebrew Israelites were proselytizing by force at one time in history. And they were proselytizing black nations. Well, we just seen that the seditions got destroyed. Let's see what else happened to the seditions. War 6.9.2, paragraph 417.
So this fronto slew all those that had been seditious.
This verse was the guy that worked for Titus. It said he slew all those that had been seditious, rebellious. Go ahead.
And robbers, who were impeached one by another. But of the young man he chose out of the tallest and most beautiful, and reserved them for the triumph. And as for the rest of the multitude that were above 17 years old, he put them into bonds.
He put them into what? What do bonds mean?
Slavery.
Wait a minute. Was Edom among these people?
Yep.
So that means in 30 AD, did Edom go into captivity too?
Yep.
What color was Edom?
Black.
So you got Edom as black going into captivity. So much for I know I'm Israel because I went into captivity. Edom went into captivity too. You could very well be an Edomite. Deal with it. Still think they're going to hell? Go ahead and read.
And sent them to the Egyptian mines.
And sent them to the Egyptian mines. The prophecy what God said, I'm going to bring you back to Egypt again.
Yep.